Yeah.
Alright. This is a movie review for The Watchmen. It's a graphic novel turned film.
My name is Frank.
My
I review movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name's Evan.
I'm Philly Pop, and I'm sleepy.
Well, why don't y'all tell the people what the movie's about?
The movie's about the graphic novel.
The end. You ready to go?
Okay.
Well, the movie takes place in like an alternate timeline where superheroes were big in the 50s.
Yeah, the idea is people dressing up in costumes.
Yeah, the
and
ideas
stuff.
of vigilantes going up and actually fighting bad guys like
And they,
Batman.
They started a group called the Minutemen, and eventually, one of the original Minutemen, the comedian, is murdered in the beginning. One of the newer
Characters.
One of the newer.
The new generations. Like this
Yeah,
is,
one of the
this is
new-
kind of 20 years later.
Yeah, one of the newer
Night
vigilantes.
Owls.
His name is Rorschach, and he's investigating the murder of the comedian. And hilarity ensues.
And it goes on from there, and Rorschach thinks that he has, what's it called? The idea that...
He has this theory
He
that
has the theory that people are picking off
Costume. The way he says it,
mass
costume
heroes.
heroes.
trying to pick up their own mask.
And so he's trying to figure out who killed who.
Yes.
Who's killing?
He's trying to
who's
figure
killing?
out
Who's
who
killing
killed
people?
the comedian.
The comedian.
And he believes it's a conspiracy
and
to
if
kill.
it's
Well, not
gonna
a
be,
conspiracy.
and if it's gonna be a chain, like he's gonna figure out who's next and like what's gonna happen.
And at this point, all the heroes are pretty much disbanded. There's no longer any
Yeah,
heroes.
it's been over for I don't know how long since there's been an act that was placed upon called the Keen Act. And it's pretty much if you've seen
Oh, The Incredibles?
The Incredibles, it's pretty much that act where they're like it's not legal anymore and they have to go into hiding, and nobody knows their identities, but
Except for Dr. or Mr. Manhattan.
yeah, and so that's how it
And
goes.
so
That's how it
Spectre.
goes. That's how it goes, and it turns out to be. What can I say?
Well, it's a
No.
very complicated story.
It's
It's not very
inexplainable.
linear.
Read the graphic novel.
It's not very linear, meaning that it doesn't like follow a straight line. It just sort of like it really just like dives into the characters a lot. It's not even really like the whole part about Rorschach trying to find out who killed people, who killed the comedian and possibly other heroes. It doesn't really pick up again until like a good 2/3 into the movie.
Yeah.
And this is a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, so basically we get like a 2-hour explanation of who the characters are. Which is fine if I didn't find a lot of their stories a little too boring.
I was very interested in this film. I did not find anything boring. But then again, I do like the graphic novel.
Really?
Okay, before we go into separate it into like graphic novel talk and all that stuff.
We're not doing that. We're not.
Rate it.
I give this movie 3
Can you speed it up a little?
out of 5.
I give it 4 out of 5.
I give it 3 catheters out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Oh, stop with that joke. God.
In one.
You sold it? How much did you get for it?
I give this movie 5.
So that was a 3, 4, and 5?
Yeah. Okay.
It's timing.
How's it go? This movie is it's pretty crazy because it's got like
a lot of flashbacks.
Apart from the graphic novel, because the graphic novel was crazy as it was to me, and when they did this, so I don't know, it's really crazy, and the changes that they made during the movie, I can understand why they did it.
I can't understand most of them.
I can understand why, because I mean,
I don't understand why they didn't change it even more because, like, they followed the graphic novel to the point where the movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes, but they left out a lot of stuff that
That
y'all had to explain to me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't read the novel, and because y'all didn't explain it to me, I wasn't as interested. So in my mind, I'm thinking they should have changed a lot more than they did for me to understand the story more, because I didn't read the novel. You know, I didn't know anything about these characters, and what I'm assuming that the director is assuming that everybody read the novel watching this movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
There was a lot of people that were getting like, what's it called? A lot of people got freaked out during some scenes Like, well, not like, oh shit. And if you didn't read the graphic novel,
You don't know.
that's when you could pick out who read it and who didn't, because you would see it coming if you had read it.
Also, another problem.
Alright.
My friend made an interesting point. Justin, what would his name be? I don't know. Okay, he made an interesting point.
He just said Justin.
He says that if you'd have watched the movie first,
He would have liked it a lot.
you would have liked it a lot better. And I do kind of agree with it because how's it go? If you saw it, you'd be surprised, and then afterwards, if you read the graphic novel, you'd be like, oh, okay, this is how it's different, and you'd be okay with it. But when you read the graphic novel and you've got expectations when you're over there, it's gonna be killing you to think like, okay, this is gonna happen next. And I hope it's the same or it's better, you know?
See, the problem with that theory, though, is that I didn't read the graphic novel before I saw the movie. I mean, there's a scene where a blue tiger with horns is walking around.
Just extended years.
Or extended years. It's like...
It's not a tiger, it's a mink.
They didn't explain shit, so I didn't know what the hell's going on.
Well, they don't even explain that really in the graphic novel.
Yeah, they do.
Not really.
It's a genetically altered mink.
They just say...
They made it bigger, and that's what Ozymandias is very like back into Egyptian. What's it called? Like back into like Egyptian times, Alexander the Great and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he knew that pharaohs like believed in this kind of thing. So he genetically altered it because he wanted to be. He idolized Alexander the Great. So that explains the whole.
He literally followed the path of Alexander the Great.
He tried to, or he wanted to.
That's
his goal.
He did to his best.
Ozymandias is one of the
superheroes.
One of the
heroes.
One of the heroes.
One of the guys.
I guess we should explain some of the heroes. You got the comedian.
You got the crazy guy that makes sense. You got the guy that actually has like the ability to change matter.
That's Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. Then you got the Silk Spectre. Silk Spectre, she's the chick out of the group.
Then you got Night Owl. And then you got...
He's the rich bitch.
His
dad was rich and they gave him money, so he used it for like
the costumes, the gadgets,
and everything.
And then you got Rorschach.
Crazy ass motherfucker.
Rorschach is like the most the
deranged
character they give. He's not really the main character. There is no main character in this movie, but he is the character that drives the movie, drives the story. And then you got he's probably the character with the most depth. You know, hearing ourselves talk about this movie. I mean, we're explaining so much, and none of it seems to go together. That's what I thought when I was watching this movie. I mean, we're getting a lot of facts here and there, and they're not meshing. I mean, you learn like all these little secrets, and to me, they didn't combine to form one story at the end. And that's where I was really lacking. It was just the story. It's like I understand why it's a novel because it's so damn long, and it needs it's called a longer medium than film to be told. And I don't like. I mean, I enjoyed it enough to give it a 3 because I didn't love it. I saw all of its flaws.
It's Zack Snyder, for goddamn sake.
It's a well-produced film. It's got great cinematography, great acting. The directing is lacking sometimes. Like there's like the music to me was so out of place in this film. I just think it was put in the hands of the wrong director. That was my opinion.
I like this movie. I like the scenes. The scenes that I wanted to actually see in this movie were in there. I wish a couple of things weren't in there.
This is a movie I cannot recommend to anybody. Just on the fact that this movie doesn't seem to know who its audience is. I mean, the audience for this film is the people who have read The Watchmen, because obviously they know like all the little side stories that are placed throughout the novel, and they get what's going on. I mean, you can argue that this is for superhero fans also, but it doesn't follow the 3-act structure that a hero goes through. So I mean, I can't recommend it to them either.
This movie's rated R, so take it with kids.
Yeah, actually, this movie, I forget, we should mention that this movie it's rated R for a reason. It's very graphic.
In certain areas.
Because it's based on a graphic novel.
It's graphic.
No, but it's got nudity, harsh language, and plenty of gore.
I don't know. That's it. We're going too far.
We've gone too far.
And time.
And we'll see you next time.
Well, so did the Watchmen.